Or a Connecticut state representative speaking out after apparently getting threats over the weekend. According to Representative Corey Paris, he shared a social media post after learning of federal immigration officials in his district. The House Democrat serves Stanford. Since then, he's been the subject of another post that's been shared more than 20,000 times, calling for his arrest. In a statement, Representative Paris writes in part, "I do not regret standing up for the targeted and the voiceless."